going on, guys? FJ Eric here, and I have seemed to have lost my intro to this video, so I'm having to make it now. Ignore this camp spot in the back. That's going to be coming up in a later video. But so this is pretty much going to be like part 2 of the previous video. If you haven't seen it, go check that out. I'll leave the link in the description so you can kind of get caught up. So I made it to Denver, picked Russ up from the airport, and even though that every road it seemed like was closed, we ended up making it to the sand dunes. Super cool. So this is just going to be kind of like the end of my first week-ish, give or take. Yeah, so much stuff had happened, so just stay tuned. Oh man. Oh, that's right here is the first campsite, just on this trail, and the FJ is right around the corner of this little tree line right here. So we were so close. And you can see there's more campsites, and as that trail just goes up the mountain this way, which looks very clear except for maybe this one little patch, but by far the deepest bit is right there at the front. So it looks like we are turning around and looking for a new spot.
This tire over here is better, just so you know. Hold on. Let's go over top of it. Nope, almost made it.
So we made it out thanks to the overland shovel.
It was all the shovel.
It was all the shovel. It was all the $7 shovel. We didn't even really need the winch. We was just, you know, I spent the money on it, might as well use it, right, you know? I'm so far down over here, I don't even think I can get. All right, so we got wood up there, we got beer in the fridge, and we got a camping spot. Woo-woo. The last night, I know my mom was probably watching us like get the fire started, and she was like, "Where's those fire starters I bought him?" Well, I found those right here, so thanks, Mom.
Yeah. So this fire starter, yeah.
I've already been drinking.
This fire starter is pretty awesome.
It happened so fast I couldn't even really get everything what was going on. Okay, so tonight I'm gonna be having beef with mushrooms and vegetables. Last night I had a few different problems with these. Didn't have enough water in here, and then I also didn't mix it up well enough. The bag was like this tall, you know, so the difference in the size of the bag matters in the size of your spoon. Did not have a long spoon. That I do have a long spoon, so I'm gonna try that. There it goes again, not wanting to light. It's nowhere near as cold as it was last night, so that's a good thing. I actually almost thought about sleeping in a hammock, but I did forget to bring my underquilt. Maybe okay in just my quilt and sleeping bag, but don't want to chance too many things, you know.
I don't know what it's rated for.
I don't know either.
But you need like a little hot plate.
See all the
Oh yeah, the steam.
The steam on the
I
lens.
think I'm gonna do pad thai. Oh, on the lens. Ain't no steam on the lens.
Yeah, you know what? Did you not see that? All right, so Russ said that once you stir it up, that's not good enough.
You gotta shake that.
Yeah, don't listen to the bag. So make sure it's sealed. Yeah. All right, and then let it sit for like 15 or 20 minutes.
Montucky.
So you're good. Eddie.
I thought you said it's a lager. You said it was an IPA.
I don't know anything about beer. I just know what's cheap and what's not cheap.
Show your fans this wild pink salmon. Enjoy as is, or you can heat it up,
Oh, it says 2 packs.
and you can eat it on a plate even. Like the cheese that you have is so full of preservatives that it.
Yeah, no, cheese is not real cheese. It's basically just a loaf of milk, but
Loaf of milk. I've never heard anybody call cheese
serious?
a loaf
There's
of
like
milk.
a huge meme going around about it, like
No, I
years
didn't.
ago.
That's
maybe not
great.
years ago.
To your fans,
That's
if you're
what a
gonna
real-
eat one of these, you need one of these.
That's what a real spoon looks like. Yeah, Russ has the bigger spoon. All right.
That's what she said.
Maybe this tastes better than the first knot.
Did you just get a text message?
Yeah, I don't know how. Thing of me eating in Dollar General parking lot. This could probably use some hot sauce.
You could use some sriracha for sure. Oh my god. There was actually stuff that came with this thing.
Wait, yours came with seasonings?
Look at this. It came with peanuts.
Oh yeah, because it's pad thai.
Yeah. I forgot to put it all in there. I was tasting them like there's something missing.
Maybe I should have paid $30 for them. Okay, so it has gotten a little bit chillier. That's why I threw the hoodie on.
Solar power.
Would it work better if I do that?
Yeah, it actually worked out pretty well.
I'm finally in a spot where I can really test this WeBoost, actually kind of see this thing work. So if you look at my service right now, I'm going back from 3G to 1X. I got my WeBoost hooked up to the fuse panel in the back, so it's wired full time. Okay, so now setting the phone on my mount next to the WeBoost antenna, and you can see that the service has went up about 2 bars. It is working, and I can actually come back out here just a few steps away, and we're back to 1 bar. I think we may try to hike up this mountain over here just a little bit, kind of see what it's about. So there's not gonna be anything in this video but breathing.
No audio. Except.
This is the highest I've ever hiked
Really?
as far as altitude.
Pretty high.
I think Utah was the only other one, and it was only like, I don't know. Oh, that's super cool though. And this is how high we are. Whew. Where that big truck is turning, you got the FJ right there. Coming up all these switchbacks. Into this mountain. Opens up again. That's so crazy looking. And now it's like way too broad up here. There's anchors up here. Yeah, we could have rappelled down. And that would have been awesome. If you just want to take the hike back down and come back up with all the gear, that'd be cool. I'll make sure nobody gets this spot. So this is gonna be our campsite right here next to this little stream. Our little path. Ice on those limbs right over there. This water is freezing. All right, so it's just going around, you know, doing some minor, I guess, checkups and whatnot, checking the tires, you know. So you can see this little piece of wood, just to kind of get an idea where we're sitting. Yeah, not very much, right? All right, so then moving on to the front tire. Don't know why I haven't seen this before, but here she is. That's how much the tread has ran down. And you remember our fire last night? Well, this one is just not really taking as well.
It ain't doing it. It ain't working.
Cue last night's fire one more time. So we're thinking this fire is going to be good enough to be left alone for a little bit. I'm not going to be cooking like a whole lot of stuff. I'm still going to be going with the backpacking meals. This is going to be the curry. And I'm gonna throw a little bit of rice with it. I was gonna cook on my stove and actually use the propane for the first time, just to make sure. I mean, I don't even know if my cable that I bought fit for it, but I'm sure they're pretty universal. So this part screws into what you already had for the Coleman. I'm gonna peek through the kitchen window to see about the fire. And fire's getting going.
Shit, yeah.
Getting going.
Getting going.
Getting going. All right, this time I'm gonna do a little bit more water than normal. What? Oh, was it in the shot?
That's right, look you.
Did this little nifty thing that Russ didn't even know about, and I thought everybody knew about it by now. But your spoon, you got this pan. This hole's not just for hanging up on the wall and looking pretty, right? Just gonna boop, and that's where you can keep your spoon. You don't have to set it down on anything, and you know what goes to what. One thing too I do want to talk about is how much I love this stove setup. Like, it's just so awesome. Like normally, you know, I had that fold-out table I had to bring out, and then take the stove out that I had just thrown in the back of the FJ somewhere, and then trying to find the food. Fridge is cool too, but yeah, definitely still digging the drawers, and that stove setup is awesome. So tonight, Russ has got some salmon that he's going to throw on a tortilla. That backpacking salmon, if you remember from last night. Starting to get a few more flurries going. That rice inside here, this is actually, well, I'm always like having to squat. This makes it look like I'm standing. So this is actually just 1 meal, you know. And if you add a little bit of rice in there, you'll soak up some of that water and also give you some more calories and fill you up a little bit faster, so it's almost like you bought 2 meals. There we go. This fire's blazing. Yeah, we still had a little bit of wood left over from last night, and we're using that again tonight, but it's just not wanting to do anything for us. Okay, so if you remember me talking about this USB fan, I don't have an extension cord on me to run it from the car, but I remember that I had this porta charger, and it's just about dead, but it does give off enough to run this fan. So instead of us having to just keep on using that beer box, this thing right here, get this thing going. I guess there's only one speed, so there's no telling.
Yeah, look at that.
We'll just run it till it dies.
My portable fan is the best. Is the best piece of gear I bought for campfires.
It snow's coming down pretty good now. And voila. Waterproof boots. It's going to be very, very interesting getting out in the morning.
Yep, still snowing.
Yep. Alright, so snow's still coming down pretty good. Went ahead and jumped in a tent because, as you saw, my boots were not waterproof. I thought that was working pretty well. Also, I thought my rain jacket was working really well, but then I noticed my down jacket started getting wet on top of my shoulders. So I'm gonna lay that in here. It's not too bad. This didn't start getting wet yet, I don't think. Still cold outside. Still trying to get bundled up. And we'll see how tomorrow goes. Alright, so this is how much snow we ended up with this morning. Can't even see where we came in at over there. This is the FJ on the solar tent and stuff. It's pretty soft, so that's pretty good, I think. But yeah, getting out is still gonna be a challenge. Alright, we got everything packed up. Did start to heavily snow again. Got the solar cleaned off, and the sun peeked out for just a split second. But there's a ton of clouds in the skies, so I'm just gonna show y'all the road over here. If you remember me coming up on, this is gonna be it now. And we passed a bunch of campsites just to get to this one, and there's nobody here. So it's actually kind of cool how remote, we are. Still crazy that nobody else is out here. It's just us. Good. Alright guys, we made it out without getting stuck this time, so that's awesome. Right now we're currently airing up. Snow's still coming down pretty heavy. Gonna be taking Russ back to the airport. Thanks so much for coming, Russ. Yeah. Man, it was a lot of fun, and he knew a lot more spots than I did, so thank goodness he was here for that.
Take care of my boys.
And then I'm gonna stay in Denver for probably 2 more days or something, try to get this thing edited, and head down south near Durango area. Spend a few days down there. I've got another friend that I'm gonna go see. But all in all, there was a lot of stuff that happened. Super stoked and impressed with the FJ, with all these conditions, especially these bald tires. Thank goodness for lockers. But other than that, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.